Welcome to the Leaf ID. So this one is actually relatively short and sweet. So you've got the activity handout, and the main thing the activity handout contains is, as usually when you click on it, you get to the handout. And I'm going to grab this one. So it tells you general things about trees, things about how to identify, leaf margins, leaf arrangements, and then it's a key and a set of pictures. So that's the main thing that this module consists of. So once you have that, there is a lecture. The lecture goes over how to identify the trees, and it does so by literally going through the identification. So go ahead and watch that video, because it'll give you about 10 or 9 of the 19 trees you have to identify. So watch this and make sure you've got that one down. In terms of the demonstrations, the lab video basically does this is the demo video. There's not really a lecture video. The demo video and the lecture video are kind of the same. In terms of demonstrations, if you're still struggling with the dichotomous key, there's the dichotomous key again, and your homework assignments basically consist of a couple of different things. There is the handout question set, where you're literally submitting the tree ID using a quiz. So when you can find the keys and the pictures in the lab handout, and the quiz, literally, I'll go in it, just asks you things like, okay, what's the tree? And then for the path, a lot of you have asked for the skulls. What I mean for the path is that you say things like 1A, 2B, 3B, whatever it is, all the way to the end, to the tree that actually identifies your tree. And even that last one, so if it's 15A or 15B, tell me 15A or 15B. So that's that. Then you've got a bonus activity, the outdoor tree ID. For the outdoor tree ID, what I want you to do is simply, I'll show you, hang on, let's go back to the handouts. Back to the handouts. There are materials in the question set. So there's two options for this. If you're living in Lexington, then you can just grab the Arboretum tree ID, and the Arboretum tree ID gives you GPS coordinates for trees. And then when you click on the GPS coordinates for the tree, if this will do with this, maybe it'll need the Word document for that. Hang on, give me a second. Let's go back to the Word document. It may need the Word document for the link. So you click, there's GPS coordinates for trees, and you can put these GPS coordinates in your phone, but you can also just click on this, hopefully. Control, come on. There it is, it's loading. And then it brings up a Google Maps for the tree in question. So this is a tree in the Arboretum, and these all are going to work similarly. So you just click on the link, and it opens the link for the tree for you. And then you've got that tree. You can go to that tree, and you can identify it. If you cannot be at the Arboretum, so there's either your option of 10 trees in the Arboretum. If you can't make it to the Arboretum, then identify 5 trees in your neighborhood. If you decide to identify 5 trees in your neighborhood, then you need to supply me with pictures, the GPS coordinates of the tree, so pictures of the tree that tell me what you identified. So not just the big tree, but the leaves and the fruit and whatever else it's got. The GPS coordinates of the tree, your identification, and the path. The big problem with the 5 ID of your choice is that if you've got a palm tree in your backyard and the palm tree is not on the list, then you can't identify it with our tree. So make sure that whatever tree you're identifying looks like something that we may have on there, right? So, your oaks, your birches, we don't have pictures of a catalpa, but if you have a catalpa, then you can identify it with that tree. So look at the key first to see what you can identify. Um, there is a dichotomous key bonus. This is the same assignment as in the animal module. So if you've already done the dichotomous key, you don't have to do it again, but this gives you another option of doing it again. And that's it for the tree ID. This should be short and sweet. And yes, that's all.